Hi guys, today we are going to focus on chapter 4, that is mapping the application in Web Application Hackers Handbook. Also, please check the description box where I have provided few links which focus on enumerating of an application and helped the user to identify certain bugs as well as earn some great bounties. So without wasting any time, let's run into chapter 4, that is mapping the application. The word mapping the application literally means to map the application and understand the application flow, functionality, and its content. It basically means we're trying to identify the content, the directory, as well as the parameter and how the application actually works. This helps us as an attacker or as a pen tester to understand the application flow and perform the attack on basis of scenario. Some vulnerabilities, such as business logic flaw, greatly depend on the application flow, which can be very useful when perform application mapping or application enumeration. So there are various ways to perform an application enumeration or mapping of an application. The first one is basically go through each of the functionality in the application and have a burp suite behind it or any intercepting proxy which is hooked to your browser, which will help you to have all the traffic inside your burp suite and which will help you to create a certain directory one. Don't worry, I will going to show you a simple demo for that. Apart from that, burp suite also has a feature called web spidering, which basically crawl into the application and tries to get all the links and crawl it and create a simple structure directory base into your burp suite, which is really helpful for understanding the structure of an web application. But in certain scenario, don't run completely automated spidering, because in cases of dangerous functionality such as deleting of a dead user or deleting the entire database shutdown, your using automated scanning can cause an issue, such as deleting an entire database because of automated scanning or automated spidering, not scanning but automated spidering. So what is a good way to perform this kind of like content discovery or completely spidering the application without performing complete automation? Basically you can use burp suite and try to go through each and every functionality in an application flow, and you can and basically that all the traffic will be intercepted into your burp suite and it will create a structure into your burp suite itself, which will be very helpful. And also you can avoid certain kind of dangerous actions, the delete user or something like that. Also remember, automated spidering can also miss out many of the things which require certain kind of validation, such as a registration user or certain kind of thing which is required by the application in order to perform different action or need to go to different kind of pages. Okay, so let's not talk about hurry. Let's start doing some basic demo. So I have actually created a small application which does not have lots of vulnerability into it, but you can actually install in your system and try to run it. So basically I will show you how we can configure your browser for the burp suite. So this is a community edition. Okay. So you basically need to create a proxy, which is this, and you also need to install the burp certificate in order to intercept HTTPS traffic. Sorry, I have already installed it, but I'm showing you anyways. Just need to go to privacy and security, use certificate, import, and import your certificate. Okay. So let me see if XAMPP is running. Okay, XAMPP is already running. So basically the application we are going to test is a simple employee management portal. Usually this is not intercepted by default in burp suite localhost, so you need to have a dot at the localhost, so it will force the localhost to go to their proxy server. Right, forward. This is basically now we are able to intercept the HTTP traffic. So like if you type anything in this and press submit, it will definitely intercept it. So let's add this particular application into scope. Right click. There is no option. Prox history, intercept. Even I forgot where there was an option, because scope. No worries, we can always use something different. Okay. Send to spider. Yes, you can directly send to spider. Yes. Now it is running. So basically, in your application, you can see that Bubswitch started identifying the application itself. Now it is requesting certain value in order to go to another URL, where that kind of things. As you can see, it is not going. So this is basically a what we call the Bub spidering, which is currently going on. This is completely automated. Apart from that, you can also perform a directory search, which is so. I have actually installed this tool called Dull Search, which basically help us to do for directory brute forcing kind of thing. So you can see this particular what you call this. So it require Python 3 Dull Search, and if you do -h, it will show you all the parameters which is require. So in our case, we just require the URL and the directory and a certain extension which we like to brute force. Always remember, in certain cases you can also try to brute force what you can call the extension in an application. So in our case, URL is cmd ipconfig. This is the IP address for my system. So you can use checklist. I am not installed it right now, so I am just using the default user share the burst, I believe, word list. Maybe the small one. And I think it requires the extension. Without extension, it does not allow to perform the brute force of a directory. So you can use -x for the extension. So in our case, the application is built in PHP, so I can use PHP, but always try for SQL, back, tar, or zip, anything. Invalid status code extension. Will not create a log. Okay. Sudo permission TOR. As you can see, even I make lots of mistakes. That's totally fine. That's how we can learn, I believe there was an option for extension. Let me check once again. Suffix, no, word list, hyphen. Yeah, it's a capital X. That's my mistake. So it's already checking for this extension. As you can see, it already found few of the directory php myadmin, doc icon, and other kind of thing. Okay. So apart from this directory brute force, we can also try to do things like so Google docking. So let's assume you have only one application in your scope, that is Google, and you want to have you want to check if there is a certain kind of parameters in the URL. So you can definitely use Google docking. I will also share you a link in the description box for Google docking, which will be helpful. So you can use like file type, basically PHP if you want. So let's see if it has a PHP. So it actually found the PHP but on a different subdomain. So if you check, yeah, it has a PHP kind of extension. If you just do -www, so it will remove all the apart from it will give you the different subdomains. You can also try for things like in URL. So maybe you require an ID parameter in the URL. So basically you can see that you can get an ID parameter which you got here. So goal docking can be very useful in finding anything which has been doxed by the Google itself. Apart from that, you can also use Wayback Machine. You should definitely use in case of a testing an application which is publicly available and it is very long time. So in pen testing, sometimes you can find an application having different kind of pages or this what we can call the directories and parameters in the application. Sometimes the JS file can contain the hard-coded credentials. I have encountered in few cases in my pen testing. So let's go to yahoo.com. So Wayback Machine basically has a snapshot for all the most of the website from where it was began, like old how it was during it was looking like in 2010, 11, 12 and so forth. Really solid sim. My net is working really slow. So let's go for 2006 and in summary. So the summary part is pretty good. So you have an option called option for meme types. You can actually select JavaScript and you can actually get the JavaScript file in this scenario. This can be pretty helpful in case you need to check the JavaScript if you can find anything, any parameters or hard-coded credential which might still be useful today. It will take time. There's also a tool which I have already installed, which is Wayback Machine. Where it is, okay. I think it has found the employee, but it did not found what you can call the directory for it. Maybe the there was an admin directory. Maybe the word list does not have the admin. Yeah, it has. So as you can see, it is not recursive. I believe it is not recursive. Therefore, it was not able to identify, or it was recursive. Okay. So you can use a tool called Wayback Machine, Wayback URL basically. So you can do something like that, and it will just show you all the URLs from the Wayback URL. It will take time. My net is working, so as you can see, it's working really slow. So it will show you all the URLs which will be pretty helpful for you. Apart from them, there is an interesting tool. I'm just cancelling this because my call is getting pretty slow. Okay. Apart from that, you can also try Arjun. This is an interesting tool, Arjun, which is developed by Somode. This basically helps to identify what you can call the hidden parameters. If you required things what you can call hidden parameter, there are two tools. One is Arjun, another it is by default available. Not by default available, I'm not sure. It's Param Miner, I believe. Bobsuit. I think it require Bobsuit Pro. Yeah, Bobsuit Pro. It is available on VF Store. So this extension can be useful for finding the hidden parameters, including the HTTP method or cookies header, everything. So you can just install it. I think it requires Bobsuit Pro or not, I'm not sure. So you can use this or you can use Arjun. It is the same tool, amazing tool if you really want. You just need to provide a URL. I'm just showing you the get method one. There is also an option for post and everything. So I hope it does not find any parameter for this, because most of my using are get post parameter. So basically, to try to identify certain parameter, I have also linked few what you call the bug bounty reports, especially using this tool. They will identify the vulnerability called XSS. Because of this tool, they were like trying to do recursive brute force on parameters. So it's basically like if you let's assume there's a parameter called ID, just something. So using this tool, they were able to identify a vulnerable parameter which was vulnerable to XSS. So this will be very helpful for identifying the hidden parameter into your pen test as well as in bug bounty. Usually I don't do lots of bug bounty. I don't even remember last time when I did it. So basically this tool can be really helpful for you. Apart from that, there is a tool called Link Finder. This is basically help you to identify read the JavaScript file and check for the directory URLs and everything. Uh, using this is quite interesting. Let us Python 3. Yeah. So basically, let's use this one, and we will use entire domain. Let's see if it works or not. Usually, if the permission error, it will show us. Yeah, we got this output file. Fire. So basically from the URL it got something. So it basically get the different kind of link what it is calling. So this can be helpful for identifying the directory as well as the parameter from the JavaScript itself. Apart from that, you can also use link finder in the bub suite itself. Link finder bub suite. It is by default available in VF stores. You don't even need to go into the what you can call the GitHub one. So basically, if you go to extender VF store, you can find it here. What you call link finder param miner. Param miner I think is by default available in latest bub suite. Let us check it is there or not. I think it is not available in this one. Not quite sure, but I am yeah, Paraminer is there and you can definitely install it. It is free. You don't require Bug Pro for it. I think link finder is not there in this version, or I am just missing it. No issues. I think there was because I have definitely installed in my office laptop link finder from Burp Extender itself, so I think it is there in the new version. So a quick recap. So basically what you will do in a basic enumeration of an application during a pen test, so basically you will try to identify each and every directory. You will go through each and every functionality of an application. In case it is having multiple user roles, you will try to map those user role as well into an application, identify those functionalities. Apart from that, you will also use Google Docking to identify if there are other things which are missed by a bub suite, or so you can use Google. You should also check the cache. Sometimes the application might be saying 404 right now, but previously it was vulnerable and the Google has been cached, so you can use something called a cache kind of thing. Google.com, it's web cache or cache, something like that. So if you do web cache, Google Doc, let's search for it. So even I don't remember in my head. Google Doc cache. So you can do something like this. Something happened. It actually cached, and as it was redirected, so let's do facebook.com. Yeah. So basically this is a cache version of the Facebook. Currently it appeared on 6th March 2021. Another thing you can do from this cache. This is also very helpful in some scenarios. You can see what it has been docked by the Google. So we have done with Google Docking. We have also searched for bub suite spidering, which is basically go to spidering and check all the content of an application. We also focus on dir search, which is a directory brute forcing. You can use various extensions for this one. We have also completed what we call finding the hidden parameters. So this is the basic enumeration we can actually perform on an application. I will also share some link which you should definitely go. These links are very useful as they show the importance of enumerating an application, identifying those parameters, which will definitely help you to identify certain bugs which might be missed by a basic enumeration kind of thing. Well, thanks a lot. See you in next chapter.